Good morning. Welcome to my Stronger Than You Think podcast. I wanted to give you a little bit of background on what the heck I'm doing. You'll hear background noise, and I've had a couple of questions from people, and so I wanted to answer them on this episode. This is actually episode 16. I can't believe it. I've been thinking about doing this for years and years and years, and I finally started a few months ago. And I have 16, this will be my 16th published episode, and I have another 3 or 4 coming soon. And so I just want to tell you a little bit about the Stronger Than You Think podcast. First, you'll hear a lot of background noise, and the sound quality is not the quality of a studio because I'm not in a studio. If you're watching the video on YouTube, you will see that I am holding my camera, holding my phone, and occasionally glancing into the lens while I go on my morning walks. This is where I get my inspiration, my downloads, my activation, my motivation, whatever you want to call it. This is where the magic happens, essentially. This is where my mind is able to be incredibly clear. And I think about you. So that's why this sound is the way it is. And I actually will continue to kind of remind you that that's why the sound is the way it is throughout my different podcasts. I haven't up until now, but I learned that would be helpful. So now, moving forward, you will get to hear about the sound at the very end. I remind you that I'm walking with you, and I'll remind you probably at the beginning and at the end. So that's why my sound isn't exactly like podcasts. Another thing you should know about this podcast is that it is real, raw, and uncut. I've heard that on plenty of different podcasts, and yet I don't know if it is. Maybe it is. Mine is. You'll hear me pause and wave. You'll see me wave at a neighbor. Sometimes you'll see somebody come into a screen because that's what it is, because it's happening and it's real and it's real life. And I want you to feel as though you're on a walk with me. I want you to feel like you're standing next to me in Florida, going for a walk. I guess you're not standing, you'd be walking with me. I think some of the best conversations happen when we're standing together in a kitchen cooking, or sitting around a campfire outside, or going for a walk. Things activate, things move, and we're able to think much more clearly. I've had some of my best conversations ever with friends of mine whom I've walked with or gone for a jog with. It's just absolutely incredible. And my mind would think, I've thought about doing a podcast now for probably, it's probably been 8 years. And then about 2.5 years ago, I was like, I'm just going to start recording my walkie-talkie, just recording my thoughts as I go for a walk. And I kept them to about a minute and a half. So I did a walkie-talkie then for about 1.5 years. And then finally it was like, oh my gosh, I just need to do a podcast. I have clients tell me all the time, dang, I wish I had recorded what you said. And so I'd like to share those different things. I want to get my voice out to as many people as possible so that you can hear the words and make a change that you want to make. Here's my dogs. They're not my dogs, but they come up and they bark. Well, they used to bark. Now they don't care. They don't even care that I'm there anymore. They see me and they're like, hey, what's up? Sometimes they run up. Sometimes they just look at me. They're excited by what I say, and they feel transformed. So I want to share that with more of you. If you like something that I say, share this podcast. Share it with someone you love and encourage them. Also, I encourage you to send in thoughts, to send in questions, to send in comments. I'd love to talk to things that you're curious about, that you're working on, that you're struggling with. When I do my podcasts, somebody asked me, is it off the cuff or is it planned? It's off the cuff. It's what I'm thinking about. It's what I feel called to speak about that day. And so I do. I sort of use Forrest Gump's theory of, when he was running, and he's like, when I was hungry, I ate. When I was tired, I slept. Otherwise, I just ran. So when I feel like I should talk about something, I talk about it. If I feel like nothing's coming, I don't talk about it. It's all good. It's okay. I teach a lot about grace. I teach a lot about internal transformation. And I believe very much in the work that I do, as well as in life, that the change starts within us. And when we want someone else to change, if we look inside and make our own selves better, we tend to see through a different lens, and it feels and seems as though others are then changing. I cannot tell you how many clients of mine, well, how many I've gotten, because people are like, what are you doing? And they say, well, I'm talking to Sarah. So then they come to me, or their spouse says, you're so different. And their marriage changes. Addictions are gone. So what is it that you do, Sarah? You do a podcast, obviously. If you're listening, now you know. What else do I do? Well, let me tell you a little bit about that. Let me tell you a little bit about what I do. So I am one in about 2,000 to 3,000 emotion code practitioners in the world. And I am one of, the last time I looked, I think it was about 800 body code practitioners in the world. Not a lot. Certified. Probably there's more who've read the books. Dr. Bradley Nelson is who wrote the emotion code and the body code. He talks a lot about muscle testing and basically talking to the body and asking it yes and no questions through kinesiology, and quantum physics is absolutely phenomenal. And so that's part of what I do. Once upon a time in a land far away, last millennia, back in the 1900s, I went to massage school, and I learned many different modalities, which means types of massage. And one sort of umbrella for these modalities is called energy healing or energy work. And the theory is that we are able to move and change energy. And I was immediately really good at it, but it freaked me out. So I shied away from it because I have a brain that's like, if I have 2 apples and I get 2 more apples, then I have 4 apples. And that's not how energy work works. Energy work is, I have an intention, I place my hands on you with that intention, and something within you shifts and changes and you're healed. And it's absolutely incredible, but it doesn't look like 2 apples plus 2 apples equals 4 apples. So it freaked me out. So then about 13 years ago, I met a lady named Shannon Cox. Hey, Shan. And she showed me Dr. Bradley Nelson's work. And all of a sudden, all the energy work made sense. It spoke to my soul. It was the correct way for me to do energy work. Now, very quickly, both Shannon and I, as we worked together, discovered many more things. We would get downloads, we would get inspired, we would get activated, and we would learn. And then we would practice on our family. We would work on releasing imbalances. We would work on balancing people's bodies with different things. I worked on my daughter's, she had some allergies to things. I worked on them. There's an AET method. It takes quite a long time. I learned that. And then I made it faster and better and less painful. And it's absolutely incredible. So what do? I do something entirely different. I use bits and pieces of things. I don't know how many of you make spaghetti or tacos or lasagna or a burger, but you do it different than other people, and that's why you're different. I do healing and transformation work different. I love to use hands-on in person. I have a VIP day where I combine my 25 years of experience and hundreds of thousands of dollars and hours worth of time and experience to give the most transformational day. You get 8 hours with me, and it's like totally phenomenal. It's amazing. I do phone calls where I help people transform over the phone. I've had so many times. You're gonna hear a lawnmower probably back into the real, right? Mother Earth Lawn and Land LLCs. Just about to mow the lawn. I do phone calls, so I work on people distance through energy healing. How does that work, Sarah? Well, it's quantum physics. It's It's being here and there. I'm sure that you have at one point felt as though you needed to reach out to someone, or someone reached out to you exactly when you needed it. And you're like, how did you know? That's the same energy, the same spirit, the same source, the same greater power that I tap into in order to be able to help people to heal. And it's absolutely incredible. I've been doing distance work from the beginning. When I learned back in Texas, most of my family was not in Texas, but apart from my husband and my children. And so I worked on my family in Oregon. I worked on my family in Arizona. And immediately I had massive results. I would have people gasp on the other side of the phone calling me for a physical problem when I wasn't even there. I wasn't even in the same state as them, let alone the same room. And they would gasp, what have you done? I'm like, what happened? They're like, my pain is gone. I've had clients whose children have been suicidal who've reached out to me. And after just a few sessions, they let me know their child is back. I believe very much that healing can happen quickly. And the more ready and willing you are to heal, the faster it can happen. And so I allow you, my client, my friend, to choose how quickly you want to heal. Because I can help you. I can help you so fast. And I don't know anyone who does it like I do. I do it differently. If you've ever had a massage from me, you know it's different. There's always energy healing and intention involved. Always. When I was in school, more than 25 years ago, I learned a word called beingness. And that is how I have moved forward in everything that I do. I let everything else be done when my hands are on you. When we are in a healing space, that is 100% my focus. And if that is 100% your focus, the transformation that you experience will be greater than anything you have ever experienced. In a recent VIP day that I did, I had a client tell me, hey, this is a really, really big ask, and laid out everything she wanted to have happen. Within 2 hours, we'd essentially accomplished all of those asks. Things were clear, things had been healed, trauma had been let go, clarity had come, and we still had another 6 hours to continue to work on things. Another client I had recently spoke about the changes that her friends saw. What is different, the peace that she felt when she came in to the session, to the VIP day, feeling overwhelmed and so much fear, unable to sleep. Friends, I truly believe that what I do is a gift. I haven't spoken about it as openly as this really before. And I think it's because it's such a special gift that people don't understand it. I used to often joke about, oh, I am a witch, because that would make sense, right? If something's unexplained, we call it a weird name. We say it's magic, or we say it's a witch. It's miraculous what I'm able to do. I don't take it lightly. I don't take the responsibility lightly, nor do I treat it lightly. I treat it as though it is gold or platinum or the most precious thing that I have. And I love helping people. I love getting out there what I do. And I just love it. So if you have listened to this entire podcast and you hear what I do, why I do it, and you're like, oh my gosh, I could absolutely use that. I am tired of waiting around. I'm tired of going to, a talk therapy or a whatever for this long, or I've been wanting to heal from this for 20 years, 30 years, 50 years. Maybe it's something that just happened and you're like, oh my gosh, you mean I can get through this quickly? You can get through it quickly, and I can help. All you need is to be willing. Yeah. And I can take you from despair to hope. I can take you from mourning and longing to peace. I can take you from pain to comfort. It's fantastic. So if this is something that you're like, oh my gosh, I need this, I want you to reach out to me. Comment on this podcast, send me a message, If wherever you're seeing us, if you're seeing this on Facebook, then send me an instant message. If you're seeing this on YouTube, write a comment. If you're hearing this on Spotify or on Apple iTunes podcast, then make a comment. Let me know how I can best help you. Let's get something set up so that 2025 will be the best year ever. Starting with incredible healing. It's real. I've been helping people to heal now for 25 years, whether it's through touch, through energy work, or through a combination. So the biggest question then now at the end of this podcast, as you've been walking with me, is if you're ready to heal, what are you waiting for? Here's your permission. Here's your sign. Here I am. Let me help. Remember, I'm walking with you. You're stronger than you think. Have the best day. Love you. Bye.